10864. Station's your final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime.
This is Duck Insider.
Duck's gonna pick it up, and here we go. Got him deep. He's open. He's got it. And he's gone.
How about that?
Oregon repeats as the Pac-12 champion.
Duarte pulls up, 3-ball. Bang!
LJ Figueroa!
Oregon goes back-to-back for the fourth time in the last 6 years. The Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
Foley three. Goal! Mitchell fires and hits a three. Left wing, pow. Yeah, boom, boom.
Welcome to Duck Insider.
What a weekend.
We're just getting started.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Live from the Country Financial Studio, here's Joey Mack.
Oh, spring football is in full force. The Ducks will welcome a select few fans inside Autzen Stadium coming up on Saturday. All of the details are on GoDucks.com. Limited tickets are available, so you got to act fast. As we are live here in the 1 o'clock hour, you can go to GoDucks.com. You'll be able to maybe claim a ticket as strict protocols will be enforced to provide a safe experience for student athletes, fans, and staff on Saturday. For the first time since November of 2019, a limited number of fans will have the chance to watch the Oregon football team in action as they will scrimmage as part of spring football. We're going to preview that scrimmage a little bit and hear a bit from Mark Campbell. We're going to hear a little bit from Brandon Dorlus, Mase Funa, Slade-Matautia, and talking about Mark Campbell. Quick pivot away from football for a moment. Congratulations to the Oregon women's basketball associate head coach on being named the head coach at Sacramento State. Kelly Graves said in part, quote, "Mark has been an incredibly valuable piece of my coaching staff over the last 7 seasons, and we wish Mark and his family all the best in his new opportunity." That's part of Kelly Graves congratulating Mark Campbell on becoming the head coach at Sacramento State. So that's an associate head coach for both Oregon basketball teams that have moved on to become a head coach somewhere, and that's because they're having an awful lot of success here at Oregon. So, Coach Campbell, wishing you nothing but the best, buddy. Good luck down there with the Hornets, and here's to hoping maybe Sacramento State ends up on an Oregon women's basketball schedule here coming up in the coming years. Talking about football, though, a little bit, the University of Oregon will open up practice running from 10:30 to 1 o'clock. Gates open at 10 a.m. Fans wishing to attend will need to claim a ticket via the story that is posted on GoDucks.com, and it will be accessible. The ticket will be through the Oregon Game Day app. There's more details on GoDucks.com. I'll let you run through all of that as there is a limit of 4 passes per patron. Everybody will enter through the south gate at Autzen Stadium. And look, this is just me talking here for just a second. I'm not reading this from a press release, but this is a good test run, I think, for what potentially the May 1st spring game could be like and potentially what the fall would look like. We all hope that that light at the end of the tunnel is looking better and better, but this is a great step toward being able to have more fans at more venues and more events here moving forward. We've enjoyed Summit Baseball and Summit Softball. Now a chance to see the Oregon football team in action on Saturday. Mario Cristobal likely going to meet with the media. It's going to be fun to talk about this scrimmage, as the Ducks will scrimmage for the first time, at least in full scrimmage capacity. The Ducks will scrimmage for the first time here coming up this spring. On today's show as well, we're going to hear from Mase Funa, Slade-Matautia, and Brandon Dorlus. As I mentioned, Oregon baseball starting up their series at USC tonight. 6 o'clock start. I am obviously sitting here in the Country Financial Studio, which means I will not be getting down to Los Angeles in time for a first pitch at 6 o'clock down in Southern California. But our buddy Nick Cope, who had the call for the Oregon series at UC Santa Barbara, where the Ducks went 4-0, he's going to have you covered with a 5:45 pregame show across the Oregon Sports Network. GoDucks.com/radio for where you can tune in your market, always via the GoDucks Game Day app, just like you'll be using for tickets. Your GoDucks Game Day app has you covered with our live broadcasts as well. We're going to hear from Mark Wasikowski, Robert Alstrom, Gabe Matthews, as the Ducks have the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week and the Pac-12 Player of the Week heading into this critical series against USC. The Ducks are tied for first in the Pac-12 standings. They're coming off an 18-1 win on Wednesday against Portland. Ducks now back to Pac-12 play, and it's a chance to really assert themselves in the Pac-12 standing against a team in USC that's currently sitting 5 games over 500. The Ducks are at 20-7 heading into this series tonight. And it is also the final regular season game for Oregon women's soccer. Graeme Abel's squad will be taking on the Beavs coming up this evening, I should say, as the Ducks hunt for a postseason berth, 6 o'clock. It's going to be on the Pac-12 networks, and it will also be broadcast on KWVA 88.1 FM, the student radio station here at the University of Oregon that does a great job. A lot going on, and a full preview of what else is to come from Oregon Athletics, because there's a lot of events, including Oregon softball hitting the road against Washington. Beach volleyball is in action, and on Sunday, Oregon volleyball on the indoor side of things will be playing in the Sweet 16. We'll tell you more about that coming up. Let's hear a little bit from Brandon Dorlus. He met with the media yesterday. If you were live with us yesterday in the 1 o'clock hour, then you know that Mario Cristobal ended his press conference at 12:59, and we had it for you during the 1 o'clock hour on the show. Well, Brandon Dorlus, Mase, Funa, and Isaac Slade-Matautia talked to the media first, and Dorlus talked about his development. I think Brandon Dorlus, there's going to be a lot of focus on a guy like Justin Flo to be a breakout player, simply because he's coming back from injury. We know what Noah Sewell can do. We know what Kayvon Thibodeau is capable of. But, that's a guy in Brandon Dorlus who's going to have to step in on the defensive line in place of a Jordan Scott who played more snaps than anybody in the Pac-12 on the defensive side of the ball last year. In his career, that is. He played more snaps than anybody in the conference heading into last season. And, guys like Austin Falliou, guys who have been staples on that defensive line. Well, now Brandon Dorlus has a chance to be one of those staples. And I thought that he had a lot of great things to say as Brandon Dorlus chatted with the media, talking a little spring football yesterday.
Well, Brandon, what are you looking to work on here this offseason, particularly in the spring?
Man, this spring, I'm just working on being more consistent, stopping the run, being causing more havoc in the pass rush, getting more involved, and also work on my leading, helping the younger guys learn their playbook and just work on their technical skills.
Brandon, the defense is looking for some guys to step up this year, particularly along the front seven with, Austin and Jordan leaving. How does it feel to have your name floated in that conversation, and, how comfortable are you feeling?
It feels pretty good, to finally, be part of the equation, and to be counted on. It's a big responsibility, but I think I'm ready. I just can't wait for the season to start.
Brandon, how different is your role in Coach Schroeder's defense and just in general? Are you moving around playing different spots, or are you kind of locked into one spot?
Same as last defense. Moving around, 3-tech, 4-5, all that.
Brandon, what's the competition like at defensive line right now? How deep do you feel like this group is? Last couple of years, it's been pretty deep.
Oh yeah, we got a great room of guys. Everybody's working, everybody's competing. Jason Jones, Keanu Williams, Mikhail, they all bring in every day learning. Young guys got lots to learn, but every day they come in, they bust their butt and they're working every day.
How's improvement in the offensive line for the Ducks, because you go against them daily?
The O-line, man, they got so much better from last year, man. They grew. You could tell they grew. The competition every day, they bringing it. They getting us better. They're working us, and we're giving them some good work. Iron sharpen iron every day.
How much is the terminology similar and kept over, and how much of you new stuff have you had to learn?
We had to learn a lot of new stuff, but most of the terminology from Andy Avalos was the defense from last year the same. We were still doing the same movements and stuff.
Brandon, we really got to see some improvement out of you on the field last year. How do you think you've improved between last year and this spring?
Just about the short off season, I try to work on maintaining my weight, getting stronger in the trenches, taking on bump combo blocks, all that, just trying to cause more havoc on the run.
Brandon, one of the younger guys that you mentioned was Keanu Williams. Was curious to just hear a little bit more about, his development that you've seen, and maybe, what are some of the adjustments that you think these younger guys have to make as they transition to college?
It's the little things, for Keanu. He hasn't played football for a couple years, coming from Cali. So, Keanu's always asking Keanu, all the older guys, he's asking what he needs to do to improve. Every day he's asking, I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to help him.
Brandon, is Kayvon playing outside linebacker? Does that really change much for you guys up front, and kind of how exciting is it to have him moving around a little bit this spring?
Like I said, in Avalos defense, like ran last year, Kayvon was doing the same thing he's doing again in the spring, being outside, inside, we're just trying to switch it up,
Brandon, I was just wondering your analysis of how Keon Ware Hudson is doing in this camp.
Man, Keanu, man, he's doing great. Improving. He's improved a lot over the offseason. Me and him worked out a lot and worked on our hands, worked on stopping the run, getting strong in the weight room. The weight room has been big this offseason. So you're gonna see it this season. Keanu is gonna be a big problem.
I think we've seen 4 or 5 of you guys play a fair amount so far, but there's a handful we haven't seen yet. How confident are you in the depth of this group overall?
Oh, I'm real confident in this depth. It's early. We're in the spring. They got a lot to learn this offseason. So, it's gonna be a good offseason to get better.
Brandon, you mentioned how you're trying to, kind of keep your weight consistent during the off season. What's your weight looking like? And then just on top of that, what do you like about being coached by Coach Joe?
Oh man, Coach Joe, man, great coach. He pushes me every day. She's always on my butt. Just never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. Never live in the past. Always live in the present. Got to work. Always got to improve. Always got to show what you're capable of every day. And then as for my weight, last year I was playing around like 275, 280. Right now I'm playing around 285. So I'm trying to get my weight to 290 so I can be a little bit bigger, stop the run.
What are you looking forward to on Saturday, Brandon, with the first scrimmage, and I'm assuming some live tackling in there? What are you looking forward to results-wise? You
just said it right there, live tackling, man. We get to go out there and hit a little bit, see what the young guys got. I can't wait to go out there, compete, and show what I got.
That's Brandon Dorlus. I think the guys are excited to get out there and in front of some fans. More details on GoDucks.com. Limited number of tickets available to see the team in action as part of an open scrimmage at Autzen Stadium. Again, if you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, head to GoDucks.com and you might be able to get a chance to see some good things at Autzen Stadium. But I do want to remind everybody that fans in attendance will be asked to abide by protocols in line with guidance from the Oregon Health Authority and Lane County Public Health to stop the spread of COVID-19. The spread, I should say. The county is in danger of moving from a low-risk designation to high-risk based on recent metrics, and fans in attendance Saturday can help allow for future chances to watch the Ducks in person by taking appropriate precautions. So those of you who want to come out to Autzen, love to have you. Please make sure that you follow those guidelines because, again, just me talking, I think this is a good test run to see how things could look at Autzen Stadium here moving forward as, again, I'll quote Coach Lombardi, that light is flickering at the end of the tunnel. Now we need to make sure that light doesn't go out. We want to make sure that light is shining big and bright as that new scoreboard is at Autzen Stadium so that you all can see it. When we come back, we're going to talk with Mase Funa and Isaac Slade-Matautia as the Ducks are scrimmaging tomorrow. More spring football updates on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
As my family continued to grow, I realized I'd have to replace my beloved Jeep with something that has, well, more seats. I'm Jason Hines, Country Financial Rep and father of 7. Whether you're upgrading from your sporty ride with no room for a car seat or finally replacing your well-loved beater that still has a cassette player, you'll want the right protection for your new car. Work with a Country Financial Rep like me and get the protection you need at a price you can afford. Learn more at TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics. This is the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Hundo P. Hundo P. Adjective. Short for being 100% sure or certain. As in, if we get a puppy, I'll Hundo P always walk it.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
A ranger station.
I'd like to report a bear hug.
Okay.
I put out my campfire and Smokey Bear hugged me.
So you drowned the fire, you stirred it, drowned it again, and felt that it was cold?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's just letting you know you did good.
Bear hug from Smokey Bear. Status update.
I'm gonna let you go now. There are many ways to start a fire, but one sure way to put it out. Learn how you can do your part at SmokeyBear.com.
Sponsored by the U.S. Forest Service, Ad Council, and your state forester.
Insider presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack at the Country Financial Studio. Oregon baseball coming up tonight, 6 o'clock. They start their series against USC. We're going to talk with Mark Wasikowski coming up. First, though, Mase Funa, a guy who I think could have a really huge season for the Ducks. A versatile athlete, and he talks a little bit about that. He has improved his versatility on the defensive side. Ducks will scrimmage tomorrow at Autzen Stadium. First time that they will have a full-on scrimmage of the spring. And Mase Funa talked with the media about the Duck defense under Tim DeRuyter and what to expect coming up on Saturday.
My first impression on his defense is, I love it. The whole schemes and everything that he has for us edge guys, especially for my position on the boundary side, outside linebacker. There's some similarities to it with Avalos' defense, but with all the new installs and everything else, I love it.
Mase, one guy that's kind of battled some injuries here and there is Adrian Jackson. I saw him flash in that UCLA game on that last drive when you guys were trying to hold him out. What have you seen from him? How's he looking in spring ball?
Oh, he's looking explosive as ever. When we go one-on-one pass rush, even in the run game, he's looking fast off the edge and as well as strong on the holding off the edge on the run games.
Mase, two of the younger guys that are playing a lot of your position, Trevin May, Jaden Navarrete. Talk about those two guys and what you're seeing from them during the spring camp.
With those two guys, as well as the other guys in our room, they're all picking it up pretty easily with the reps that we have throughout practice. They look consistent with it, and that's the main thing that we're building on with this spring practice is just building up the consistency and just making sure that when we go out there and get the calls from the sideline, even though it's new defense, that we just play without thinking too much in our heads. And, with our outside linebacker group, everyone's doing a great job with it.
Ace, will this defense look different to the untrained eye? Are we going to look at this and think, oh, this looks and feels a lot different from Avalos, or are we going to say this feels pretty similar?
It's hard to tell just because, the player's perspective as well as fans' perspective. But for me, you'll see some similarities with what Avalos had with us. And at the same time, you'll see totally new components with, KT standing up. That's a huge difference. And, it'll be 50-50.
Mase, what changes for you from the stud position you were playing to the Sam backer? Is there a technique difference from either a 5 or 6 to more of a wide 9, or what's kind of the technique difference between the two?
For me, I would say for the boundary, I would say it would be he has this more on the edge more, so like 9s. I feel like we're playing more of a true outside linebacker position with more coverages, more drops, while also keeping our edge rush and playing inside on the 6. And today they also had us running in through the 3-tech.
You guys are scrimmaging on Saturday. I guess for yourself individually, and then also just overall from a program standpoint, what are you hoping to get out of this scrimmage on Saturday?
From our past scrimmage this past Saturday that we had, our team as a whole just looks different. You probably, if you were to come and watch it, you would probably say that this doesn't look like we just got a new DC. Like everything's just so fluid, it's like water. Just everyone moving fast and physical on both sides of the ball. Offense is moving, defense is also moving, and it's just crazy to see how fast defense has picked up and just playing with what they throw our way.
Mase, you guys weren't able to practice the way you would normally practice last season. You already have more spring practices than you did all of last year, and now you have a new defense. What was kind of your routine before spring started to get prepared? Like, did you watch the film differently? Did you communicate with teammates and coaches differently? Like, what was your routine?
I had to make up a whole new routine just because for me, for my class, I would say this is basically our first spring ball. Came in freshman year in the summer, so I missed that spring ball. And then last year with the whole COVID, we hadn't missed that spring ball. But, just with this spring ball and just how it's been going without COVID and all that, it's just a lot of picking up and just making sure I feel what's right and what fits best. But with meetings, it's all pretty similar. We just gone through tons of install, and that's just what our meetings is mainly about, just installing just the little techniques and everything.
His coach DeRuyter said he was implementing the defense he's implementing because it takes best advantage of the personnel that's here in Eugene. How do you see what Coach DeRuyter's implemented takes advantage of this personnel?
He's done a great job with personnel. With the players that we have on defense, he's been able to, he's just a mastermind the whole plan. And with the schemes, like I mentioned earlier, just everything's just flowing like water. You have KT on the opposite edge of me using his speed rush as well as his drop coverages. And KT, he's gotten way better at coverages. And then also in the middle, in the trenches, you got boys like Brandon Dorlus, Keanu Hudson, Popo Amavai, and Christian Williams. They just been mixing it all up. And even then, them up in the middle, they just mess everything up in the trenches. And then also on my side of the ball, on the boundary, I know I look like a big guy, but I mean, I can move pretty well in space, and he's been utilizing that pretty well with me, Braden Swinson, Jake Shipley, Trevor Nye, Adrian Jackson. The list goes on. And then the DBs in the secondary is just crazy.
We talked to Travis Dye a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how improved the offensive line was. We just talked to Brandon. He said the same thing. Going up against them in practice, I know it's a little different because you're standing, but you obviously interact with them a little bit. What kind of is the improvement you've seen from that group, and do you think it's sustainable for them to be significantly better this season?
They're just dominant. They're dogs. You got, for me, I'm always going up against Steve and Big George. They make me work every day just as well as I'll make them work. And there's just a huge jump from last season, as there should always be. And for them at tackles, I know that it's going to be a fun season for our quarterback.
Mase, when we've been talking to Mario, he said that, on the days when you guys aren't practicing, you're going through film review and install stuff. Seeing that you're doing a new defense and you're getting some new stuff thrown at you, what do you kind of look for to make sure that you're not getting too much, overwhelmingly thrown at you?
That all comes with studying outside of when we're here at the facilities. For me, I'm going home, getting my schoolwork knocked off, and then as well as making time for the installs that we just went over, as well as past installs. And, that's just the huge part of being a student athlete. Yeah, it's a time management, and especially for me, it's just been studying so much at home, just making sure that I know what I got to do so that, like I mentioned earlier, when I get to practice, that there's no flaws or anything, just play.
That's Mase Funa. Good stuff talking with him about, this defense and what to expect moving forward. We're also going to talk with Isaac Slade-Matautia, talk a little baseball as well as the Ducks hit the road to USC. A big weekend preview coming up. Stick with us. It's a fun weekend to be a Duck on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Dear Freedom, Toyota Hybrids say, let's go faster and further with 10 hybrid models to choose from and tons of top tech. The best part? Every Toyota Hybrid offers an extended hybrid battery warranty for 10 years or 150,000 miles. So let's go places. Toyota Hybrids.
For Toyota Hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and fuel cell and battery electric vehicles beginning with model year 2020. The hybrid HV battery is covered for 10 years from original date of first use or 150,000 miles, whichever comes first. Coverage is subject to terms and conditions of your new vehicle limited warranty. See owner's warranty and maintenance guide for details.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
I'm probably okay to have one more drink before I drive home. I'm probably okay. I open the window to stay alert. Probably okay. I just popped some gum in my mouth.
Step out of the car, please.
I probably made a mistake.
Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When I grow up,
I want to be a new pair of blue jeans.
When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer.
I want to be a warm fleece on a cold day.
Football
I want to be a
stadium.
bike that races around the country.
I want to be a bench on a forest trail.
When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Back on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College, it is Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack. Scott Phillips here, always running the knobs for us. Mitchell Lee back in the OSN studio, and Isaac Slade-Matautia met with the media this week. The linebacker who's really the veteran of this defensive group. I think you can say that he's a guy that leads by example, not necessarily the most vocal guy, but he's worked on that. He's worked on becoming a leader, and I think you're really going to enjoy what he said. The Ducks will scrimmage at Autzen Stadium tomorrow. If you're just joining us, head to GoDucks.com if you would like to attend. There will be strict policies in place, and there are a limited number of tickets you can claim by going to GoDucks.com. If you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, I imagine there's still some left. And then baseball against USC tonight. We're going to hear from Mark Wasikowski coming up. Also of note, Oregon softball on the road at Washington. The Ducks will start their series against Washington tonight at 5 o'clock. More to come on that. Let's hear from Isaac Slade-Matautia as he previews tomorrow's scrimmage and talks about this defense that Tim DeRuyter is implementing for the Ducks.
Heading into this next season, what are your goals, and personally, what do you want to get better at?
Personally, just perfect every aspect of my game, from pass rushing to stopping the run to covering man-on-man, whatever zone type it is. And just be the best player I know I can be. Have coaches push me in whatever way. Don't have them shy away from getting me better. And overall, as a team player, just help this team contend for a championship. Not even contend, make it and hopefully take it. We're practicing every day hard, full go, 100%, whether it be thud or full on scrimmaging. And, whatever I could do as an older guy to help these younger guys and get the dependable depth.
Is it something about this team this year that makes you more optimistic than the other years?
Not too much. We have a really young team, so that's going to be a big part on the leadership guys and just veterans, just to get the younger guys going. I know it's they just got out of high school, so they're kind of trying to slow their pace inside, but we just got to get them going. That you're going to be the next man up, and whatever happens, you're going to have to be as good as the one, if not better. So I'm proud of where we're at right now with the new defense, and overall as a team, I feel like we're going to do better things this year.
How similar is the terminology? How much was kept over from Coach DeRuyter?
It's actually been way easier. It's not to knock on anything Avalos done here in his defense, but just the terms and the schemes of what's going on right now and the install we're putting in is just much simpler. It's easier to get down, and it helps having guys, all veterans who runs the one from the front to the back, like KT, Mase, then you have Popo, Keanu, Dorlus, all those guys up front, who you can trust those guys to do their part in whatever, whether it be pass rushing or setting the edge on runs or stuffing the run. Then you go guys in the backfield like I already call Noah a veteran. He should know what's going on. Then you have Drew behind us. You have TJ, Nate Hukalani, LeDuc should know some of the stuff too. He's just got to get back off injury. Then you got to work with KB. Then Vrome and Mikhail, them all in the back. It's easier focusing on what you got to do when you have guys that you can depend on.
Yeah, I was wondering, Isaac, it seems like there's a blend of some guys who played a lot, but a lot of guys who haven't seen the field. What's your role in making sure everybody's kind of got their head on right and kind of knows what they're doing out there? And is that a little bit more difficult with a new defense?
For me, it's just doing my 111, I got to get my stuff right, whether it be practicing, walkthroughs, show them how it's done, show them what we're doing, how to do it. And, I guess, again, trusting, other guys to do their part with their young guys. And, I'll just have to focus on, getting my guys right in the linebacker room and it's much easier with terms. It's simpler. That's more simpler to understand, and you just gotta at the end of the day just play football, and wherever the ball is, you gotta go get it.
A couple of interviews ago, Verone talked about just how in his time here, it's been as competitive as it's ever been in spring ball.
Mm-hmm.
You've been through a couple springs now, and could you maybe touch on that as well? Just maybe how much is the offense pushing you, and how much you feel like the defense is pushing the offense?
Yeah, I feel like this year has been probably the most competitive, I would say, because what happened last year at the PlayStation Bowl, a lot of guys who returned was part of that, whether it be ones or twos. And, we have a chip on our shoulder because we knew we should have had that game. Besides all the things that happened in the past, but there's a lot of guys who are now veterans again, and they know how things should be done, how things should sound. We have a saying over here is, you walk a certain, we talk a certain way, and we play a certain way. And, that's really instilled with our defense. So, whether it's offense and defense, both sides are pushing each other very well. And again, it all starts from the older guys.
Isaac, with the new defense, and now you're able to play more, like a regular off season with the spring. We talked about Mase. He said he had like a whole new routine coming into spring. Did you have something similar, like trying to figure out, how I can get back to normal in a way?
Not too much. I know he's been telling me a lot of stuff about their technique, how it's different. But like I tell every young guy that asks me for help, is at the end of the day, it's football, man. You just got to go out there. Whether you mess up 100%, and whether your technique or what you drop, what you're playing is wrong, just do it 100%. You can never go wrong with effort. I know there's a lot of stuff that the older guys may have trouble adapting with, because coaches always teach different techniques, schemes, and all that. But you just got to go with it and, just do whatever you can to help this team win.
One of the young guys in your unit that got hurt right off the bat last year, Justin Flo. What do you think from him now with his, with him coming back, and what's he doing in spring?
He's going to be he's still a work in progress. I'm excited. He's going to show a lot of people that he's still here. I'm sure a lot of people is waiting for him to make his comeback, but he's been doing very well, learning the playbook. Whether he doesn't know something, ask questions, he has no shame just raising his hand or just shouting it out in meeting rooms, and coaches help him right away. He's gonna be a great player. Everyone knows that, and he's slowly progressing with his injury that he had again. So he's been doing some. He's just got back doing some drills with us. It kind of feels good having him out there, watching him move around like he did before. And I'm sure everyone knows he's excited to get back, and we can't wait to have him back.
What's kind of the process for getting guys behind you who haven't seen the field yet?
Make sure they're comfortable playing. Like I said before, at the end, it's a lot for young guys to come in and learn a new system. Being that you had one for your first year, then coming in your second year, it's all different. But you just got to take time, whether it be after your school appointments or right before a meeting, just to study the playbook and just be confident. That's the main thing, is just be confident in your play and know what you're doing out there. Because once you're confident, you can play comfortable. And when you're comfortable, it's just you're relaxed out there. You're not thinking too much. You don't have those jitters. You know what to do. You know where to line up. And from there, it's just playing ball.
Yeah, I was wondering, Isaac, I talked to a couple other players, defensive guys, and as well as offensive players, just about the improvement of the offensive line. I was curious if you could kind of reflect on what you've seen there. I know obviously a little different spot for you, but you obviously interact with them. Kind of what improvements have you seen from that group?
Just communicating. They communicate very well. Whether they don't see something correct, they know how to just talk to each other. Not you don't put down someone for doing something wrong. They know how to teach you. They take you on the side. They teach you. And again, a lot of it's on the older guys. Most of them are returners from last year, of course. So they know how it's done, how it looks, and I give credit to the whole starting front, whether it's George, Steve, Walk, Alex, and TJ Bass. is that, they're stepping up to a role that, what Panay left. So they're trying to, build that reputation that Oregon does have. Oregon has O-line everywhere, whether it be tackle or the inside run. They're gonna open a lot of people's eyes this year. I know that.
Are you taking on more roles on more special teams units, and if so, which ones?
I'm trying. I'm in Bobby's ear every time about getting me on punt team. I told him whatever gets me more tackles, put me on there. I mean, I'm trying to get on punt. I'm on kickoff return right now. I used to do that years past, and I'm just those two so far, yeah. And whatever they need help in, I'm always there to tell them that I'm ready.
Ultimate team guy, Slade-Matautia, meeting with the media linebacker for the Ducks. Oregon will scrimmage tomorrow at Autzen Stadium. Full preview and info on how you can maybe come check it out is available on GoDucks.com. You have to claim a ticket ahead of time. When we come back, Oregon baseball heading to USC. We're going to talk with the head coach, Mark Wasikowski, as the Ducks are one of the best in the country by all the metrics right now. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Hi, welcome to the Spicy Drive-In. May I take your order?
Can I get the spicy chicken sandwich, please?
The spicy chicken is an excellent choice, sir. And to drink?
Whatever's fine.
Oh, may I make a beverage pairing recommendation this evening?
Sure.
If we are feeling especially bold tonight, sir, I would recommend the Mountain Dew with that. It's bravely unrestrained with a very alive aroma that pairs wonderfully with your spicy chicken. It's followed by a hint of zesty citrus flavor.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I'm sure you already know this, sir, but remember to appreciate the nose first by giving the Mountain Dew a little swirl to relieve volatilize it.
What?
To change the flavor compounds and activate your taste buds to get them fully primed for that chicken sandwich.
It's delicious.
Now you're getting the hang of it. The muscular flavor charge characteristics of Mountain Dew make for an absolutely epic mouthfeel when paired with spicy cuisine. It is quite on point, sir.
Dude, it's a perfect match. Like they were made for each other.
So true, so true.
When you want to make good food bolder and bold food better, do the Dew.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield IMG College.
Whoa.
The moment my son saw a redwood tree
It's huge!
is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Jill, why don't you tell the class what you did this weekend?
Well, my dad and I went in search of some magical minnows and found a zillion of them in the stream from our lookout rock. Then my sister and I escaped from an evil slug king and went back to my super twig fort for safety. Then we told stories till it got dark, and the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Where were you, Jill?
We went to the forest. It's not that far away.
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack with you in the Country Financial Studio. Today's show is brought to you by our friends also at North Fork Public House, open for dine-in and takeout, northforkeugene.com. Oregon baseball heading down to Southern California. In fact, they're already there, and I talked with Mark Wasikowski for the Toyota Coaches Corner this morning. You'll hear that coming up with our buddy Nick Cope on the call, starting at 5:45 across the Oregon Sports Network for Oregon baseball at USC. More details, goducks.com/radio, where you can tune in. Trojans, a good team that has some pitching. They're hitting, experienced, but don't have the numbers necessarily to stack up to the Ducks, but few do. Aaron Zavala, by the metrics, according to D1 Baseball, might be the best hitter in the country. Kenyon Yovan also on the top 100 list this week that they put out. Pretty impressive what the Ducks have been able to do. Mark Wasikowski pretty darn excited, too, about a matchup against the Trojans because Oregon is coming off a really nice series sweep of Oregon State. The Ducks also now the best team in the state. They went 5-1 against the Beavs. They went 2-1 against the Portland Pilots. Mark Wasikowski talked to the media ahead of this trip down to USC that starts at 6 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, first thing is always, great team effort. It's great to be able to sweep. Once we get into individual stuff, to once again have the honors kind of pouring in with Robbie Alstrom and Gabe Matthews winning Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week and Pac-12 Player of the Week. You know, we've been very fortunate with that. Obviously, we've had our share of weekly award winners now, which is becoming so far in this young season has become a regular occurrence, which is really nice. You really want the individual players to be able to be playing well enough, and usually when they're winning awards by the Pac-12 conference, it means the team's having a lot of success, and both are true right now. So really excited for those two young men and first and foremost the ball club and how hard they've been playing.
What are the specific areas that he has changed that you and Angier have helped him change? Is it?
Well, I think first and foremost, one of the biggest things that's helped Robbie Alstrom is himself. He's gotten into a better mindset. He's gotten into a clear mindset on what his clear plan is. He's a little bit older. He's a little bit stronger. He's a lot more mature. And I give that credit to Jake Angier. You know, my pitching coach has really made an impact on our pitching staff. That's been clear. And Robbie Alstrom's one of them for sure, that he's really impacted in a positive way. The results speak for themselves. Robbie's traditionally now, at least for this early part of the season so far through 26 games, Robbie's been the most competitive person on the field when he gets a chance to pitch. That's come from the work with Coach Angier, the development emotionally and maturity-wise, and then also his utilization, Coach Angier's utilization of the tech that's new to the University of Oregon and our tech department. You know, when it comes to Darryl Hunter, Brett Thomas, being able to dissect a lot of the tech, get that information to Coach Angier, and then Coach Angier can apply that tech to what he sees from a coaching standpoint and deliver that message and plan for Robbie Alstrom. I mean, it's really been a tremendous recipe for him as well as the other pitchers. And so I give it to the credit goes to Coach Angier and then the tech crew underneath him.
So, Coach, how important has it been seeing local hitters such as Arian Savala and Gabe Matthews do so well? And what sort of improvements have these guys made at the plate and in the field over the last couple of seasons that you've been there?
Well, Coach Marty's our hitting coach, and, you know, he's done a tremendous job. And again, Jack Martyr, and then our tech crew with Brett Thomas, being able to assist with a lot of the data that goes through Brett's crew and goes to Jack, to where Jack can then analyze things and game plan things and get a daily plan for these hitters, has yielded benefits. You know, it was a few weeks ago when Gabe wasn't going great, and now he's Pac-12, you know, Player of the Week, and you know he hit whatever he hit this last week in 600 or whatever. You know, hitting comes and goes. It's not something that is, you know, every week a guy's going to hit 400 usually. You know, Aaron Zavala has kind of been doing that, and he's been just, you know, he's been on fire. He's really been our most consistent player up to date. 3 weeks ago though, Gabe, everybody was scratching their head going, boy, we got to get that guy going. Now this week, it seems like the name is, boy, we got to get Kenyon Yovan going, where 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, he was the national hitter of the week. And so, you know, hitting comes and goes, just the patience, the daily work, looking for consistency, looking for just give us a good positive at-bat, kind of like Tanner Smith, last at-bat of the weekend, this weekend, in an 0-2 count, and he smokes the ball into left center field in the 11th inning against the Beavers, and that was a huge at-bat. And I know Tanner didn't have the kind of weekend he wanted to have with the bat. A lot of that, you got to tip your hat to great pitching on the other side as well. So nevertheless, thrilled about the development of the hitters, thrilled about specifically the local hitters and players from the state of Oregon that are excelling in our program. They're driving our success. There's no doubt about it.
Do you see an increase in recruitment in the state of Oregon in the future, especially more of these local guys that are from these programs?
Yeah, we're not just going to recruit local guys. We're going to recruit the best guys, and we want them to be from Oregon. We've really invested a ton of time, and you'll see in our future classes, we have been able to get in there and not only get in the doors of the best of the guys from the Northwest and specifically Oregon, but in our future classes, you'll probably even start seeing that we're getting those guys. And so we are investing in our immediate footprint. That's how we believe in this program needs to be developed, and we will recruit heavily from the state of Oregon and the Northwest. That's going to be our primary focus. We'll go outside of that region as well as we need to supplement needs. but the way we want to develop this program and build this program is with players from the state of Oregon. I'm so thrilled for the high school coaches in our state yesterday to be able to get on that ball field and start playing high school baseball games again for the first time. Get those kids out there, and mentally, it's so great for those guys and those high school coaches, and to see those results come back in. We're thrilled to recruit our state, and really excited about the fact that things have now safely been able to yield opening up to where these kids get to experience what they've lost out on for over a year now.
Just your thoughts on a couple of guys for SC. They're obviously not statistically the strongest of teams this year, but they've got some pop in the lineup.
Isaac Escada, left-handed arm. He's going to get rolled out there probably on day one. He can really pitch. Lefty, he's not overpowering, but he can mix his pitches extremely well. He's similar to an Alstrom, and he's been really good for the Trojans. The Champlain kid who throws on game 2, just watching more video on him this morning, he only sits from 93 to 97 miles an hour with a power breaking ball, and he's considered to be a first or a second round pick. He throws game 2 for him. So this isn't an easy team to play. This is a team that's good. Ben Ramirez, he's got tremendous thump in the bat, left-handed bat, was a high profile player coming out of high school. Kid, these guys are good. They've got real pieces in that deal. They've got 3 bullpen arms that are plenty good enough. They can match up a little bit. We'll see a little bit more left-handed out of that bullpen, but they've got a mix and match between left and right-handed out of the bullpen, and some different looks as well, some changeup guys and some breaking ball guys. That's why they've been able to, when they're having success, that's how they do it. They've got some really high-end pieces, and then the other guys have been able to match up extremely well. When they're playing well and they're pitching well, they've got a lot of different looks to be able to provide an opponent. And I definitely know they're going to be ready for us when we come into town. Coach Gill's a very good baseball coach.
And you're talking a little bit about Coach Gill there as we hear from Mark Wasikowski previewing this weekend series against USC. Remember, Jason Gill was actually an assistant coach at Oregon, but never coached a game. He was with Coach Horton during the era where they were just recruiting. They had that full season where they could play exhibitions and practice, but they didn't play any games. Well, Coach Gill was on the staff then. Then he became the head coach at Loyola Marymount. Now he's the head coach at USC. An Oregon guy, though, a little bit. He was one of the first guys that helped bring this program back to life, which is a pretty darn cool story. Meanwhile, talking about some of the local guys, well, Robert Alstrom's the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week now for the second time. He's the reigning Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week. Robert Alstrom will get the ball tonight. He spent a few minutes talking with the media about the keys to his season so far.
Goal every year, obviously, for all of us, and me personally, is just to improve all different factors of our game, such as strength and just overall like our pitching ability. So yeah, I would say like 2000 or my first year here, came in and I wasn't really sure what my role would be yet. That was the first time I was experiencing baseball at this high of level. So there's definitely a feeling out process for that. And then over the last couple of years, I've just been able to get comfortable. And then once I started seeing some success, I just realized that just gave me the confidence to go out there and just continue to improve. From a coaching standpoint, I felt like I had Coach Dietrich. He gave me a really good foundation to build off of. So I'm super thankful for that. And then Coach Angier just working with us. It's cool to have that approach too with the technology. And he's done a really good job with our staff and just preparing us to pitch. And it's showing up on the field.
So what is it specifically with the technology? What is it that's helped lead to it? Because like I say, the results are obviously, they kind of speak for themselves.
Really big emphasis in preseason during the fall and winter. We use Rapsodo. We track our release points on all of our pitches and see where they're different or where we can improve them. We see the rotation of the ball on certain pitches, and we make adjustments to make it play better off of other pitches. So just getting that feedback and analysis, it really helps with that. And then we do a lot of video breakdown where we get slow motion video of our motion and our mechanics, try and spot out anything that's hindering our ability to be fluid and overall at our best. And then we'll make adjustments on that. And then once we get to season, there's not much of that. There'll be small adjustments here and there, but it's mostly just kind of trusting the work we put in earlier in the season.
How key has it been setting the tone as the Friday night starter, and what was it like sweeping Oregon State over this past weekend?
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Anytime you can go out there and win on a Friday, especially against a good pitcher like Keanu Abel. I mean, he went out there and he looked really good. So anytime we can get that first win, sets us up for a good chance to win the series and then even potentially sweep, which we did. And just growing up around here, like that was the first time I've ever been a part of a Ducks sweeping the Beavers. So that was awesome, especially the way we ended it with the walk-off. So that was awesome. But yeah, we have a lot of guys that could be pitching on Friday night in this program, or pitching in other programs on Friday nights. So, I mean, I'm just trying to go out there and give my team the best chance to win. It doesn't really matter what role I am, but since I am the Friday night guy, I'm going to go out there and just do my best every time.
That's Robert Alstrom, and he has set the tone on Friday extremely well. Coach Wasikowski talking with him today. He said that the Friday night start for Robert Alstrom this evening against USC is paramount for Oregon's success against the Trojans, especially with the guy they've got going out there against Cullen Kafka tomorrow, as you heard Coach talk about that just a little bit. 6 o'clock tonight, 5:45 pregame show here on the Oregon Sports Network as the Ducks will face the Trojans. The Oregon Sports Network affiliate station in your market. Head to goducks.com/radio to check it out. 2 o'clock tomorrow and noon on Sunday for Oregon at USC. Going to get a quick timeout when we come back. How about another rivalry matchup? As Oregon women's soccer hunts for a postseason berth, we're going to hear from their head coach as we preview the rest of the weekend next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
From the weight room to the classroom, on the field and off it, On Point proudly supports University of Oregon athletics because student athletes do so much more than bring us pride on game day. They bring our entire community together in Eugene and all across Oregon. So whether you're watching the game in the stadium, at home, or at your favorite local business, their success makes all of us stronger. On Point Community Credit Union. Join in. OnPointCU.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
After 2 years of construction, my wife and I finally moved into our dream home. So when a bathtub fixture broke, causing major water damage, I was glad we had the home insurance protection we needed. How do you know your home is protected? Talk to a Country Financial rep like me, Nick Simon. We can help you understand your options and select coverages to meet your needs. Then if something happens to your home, you won't have any surprises. Need the right coverage for your home but not sure where to start? Visit TakeSimpleSteps.com or contact a local Country representative.
You're listening to Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield IMG College.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by On Point Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial Studio. Oregon soccer in action tonight, 6 o'clock start on Pac-12 Networks. Those of you who are tuning in, maybe on one of our OSN affiliate stations later, they might be in action right now. If they are, check them out because this is a fun team to watch. And Coach Abel and his squad are looking for a postseason berth. This is a big-time matchup for Oregon against Oregon State at 6 o'clock on Pac-12 Network. And Graeme Abel met with the media this week, talking just a little bit about where his squad's at heading into this matchup with the Beavs.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to it. You know, we last Friday against Washington, we didn't, we were disappointed. We didn't put in the performance that we felt as though we should have, all of us. And then, we rebounded on Sunday. Pullman's a tough place. I know I've obviously worked there, against another Final Four program. And we competed extremely well. Won the second ball game, third ball game, and then we were able to create a few chances, and we got out there with the points. So satisfied with what we did on Sunday, and setting us up for the week in terms of going into the Oregon State game. They're obviously going to be tough. They obviously had 2 losses at the weekend, but they rebounded prior to that and were playing well. So it'll be another tough weekend in the Pac-12.
We weren't really able to talk to you after the first Oregon State game. What were kind of some of your biggest takeaways from that squad?
Oregon State were very good in the first half of the game, to be quite honest with you. We had done a couple of things differently in terms of trying to defend. To be honest with you, Oregon State did a good job of playing out of, and we were able to make some adjustments within the half to go ahead and stifle that a little bit. But felt as though they were, we didn't put forth what we felt was our best performance in the first half, and then we came out with more initiative in the second half and was obviously able to get 2 quick goals. And then once that happened, we were able to kind of control the game from there and close the game out. So
that was the first time the Ducks took on the Beavs up in Corvallis. They got the win, and now they're looking for the win here at home as Oregon will face Oregon State at 6 o'clock here tonight in women's soccer. And that's Graeme Abel, head coach. And look, hey, this team is right on the precipice. I think they are right there for an NCAA tournament berth, which would be the first time in program history for the first-year head coach, Graeme Abel. That's pretty darn cool. So good luck to the Ducks here this evening. Men's tennis will be in action against Stanford this afternoon as well. We've got beach volleyball underway, and Oregon volleyball on the indoor side of things is going to play on Sunday. That's right. Ducks will play on Sunday in the Sweet 16. More details on GoDucks.com as the Ducks will look to continue this run into the Elite Eight. That's your look at the schedule ahead. Your women's sports schedule spotlight is always brought to you by Toyota. They love investing in women's sports. Toyota does, and Toyota lets go places. Talking about the women's sports schedule spotlight, Oregon softball, 5 o'clock tonight. Then 5 o'clock up in Seattle for a doubleheader on Saturday, and they will continue and finish the series against the Huskies at 2 o'clock on Sunday. Track and field's also in action this weekend, by the way, everybody. They're splitting. Going to be in Arizona and at Hayward Field. More details on the stream on GoDucks.com. I understand they will have a live stream here coming up for the track meet at Hayward this weekend. The West Coast Classic, co-hosted between Oregon and Arizona. Finally, Oregon women's lacrosse against UC Davis. It is a 1 o'clock start on Saturday. There you go, weekend schedule. Ducks will scrimmage inside Autzen Stadium tomorrow. We'll recap all of that for you on Monday's edition of Duck Insider, and baseball starting at 6 o'clock tonight, 5:45 pregame right here on the Oregon Sports Network.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom! Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
It's important to